I thought I would do a different type of video for once. As you might know, I am a creator in Geometry Dash, and I've accumulated a decent chunk of creator points. And over time, I have accumulated quite a few unfinished levels. Now, I know this definitely isn't the most original video concept. Hell, I've even done it before in the past, years and years ago. But I thought I would just go through some of the unfinished levels that, have piled up on my account. Just give a little bit of insight and, yeah, just check out some levels and that's it. So I have quite a few levels here. I don't know if I'll play all of them, but I'll definitely play the ones that I think are, like, good enough to be played. Let's just start with Lotus. So, backstory with Lotus is that back in 2022, me and Comet Face, now known, released a level called Eucalypt. And since Eucalypt was quite successful, I started making a sequel on my own. So you can see kind of like the floral and plant influence, I guess, from Eucalypt, and also the name Lotus. So I just wanted to do some like experimental world building, I guess, especially with like these parts being sort of underwater with like the fish and everything, and then you go to the surface of the water. I still think this level holds up quite decently. If I were to go and finish this level, I would probably change quite a few things, because this level does, especially this beginning part, it kind of screams like 2021, 2022, like that era of creating. But I do like I enjoyed the details that I've added in this level. Like, especially these like one-off details. Such as these bubbles that only appear once. Well, I guess they technically appear twice, but just these like very minute details that I don't use often, I quite enjoy. And I should really do those more nowadays. I love these fish here. I don't know why, but it's just something about these fish. I just really like this. I don't know if I'll ever finish this level, sadly, because I kind of just lost motivation. Especially with, like, the parts, like, after the water part, like here. I just kind of didn't really know what direction to take the level. And that's kind of why it died. So I no clue if I'll ever finish this, but if there's a creator that can, match the kind of vibe I was aiming for, then, you might see this finished one day. I kind of like the gameplay I made as well. I think it flows pretty well. I think I was aiming for like around hard demon difficulty. That's why just like some trickier ship gameplay and whatnot. I like this level, but I think it's kind of showing its age. And who knows, maybe in the future I'll finish this, but for now this level is pretty dead. I'd be confident enough to say. Ooh, Frigid Peaks. I forgot about this. So I think this is also 2022? I was kind of in that era of trying to make like artsy levels, as you could probably tell from from Eucalypt. And at that point, I still hadn't made an extreme demon, like a solo extreme demon. So I started making a timing-based level, and I think it's okay. I think the main criticism I got from some people back when I first previewed this was that the style of slow timing gameplay didn't really work with the song that I chose, and I think I can kind of see that, honestly. At the time, I had a vision of just making like a really brutal timing based level. I even made like a unique jump like this timing, just something that would give the level its own like personality, because you know this jump, from at least from what I remember, was nobody had done it, like that type of specific timing. But I do think this level suffers a lot from the fact that perhaps I was a bit too inspired by levels like Sunset Sandstorm, and I think that kind of reflects. I also think that's why the level failed, because I was really trying to make something that would wow some people with its charm, kind of like Sunset Sandstorm did back in the day. And I think I also set myself like way too high of a standard because of that, which inevitably resulted in the level just dying. And honestly, I think this level is better off in an unfinished state, probably. I don't think this... There's some cool ideas. I do like some of the gameplay gimmicks, but I think I tried a bit too hard to be unique with this level. I do like this last coin. So instead of holding into the portal and doing having the last timing be non-existent, you need to do the actual timing. Yeah, it's okay. There are some ideas in this level that I like, but yeah, like I kind of enjoy how I use like the wooden objects to make like bridges and stuff for the orbs as well, that kind of swayed in the wind. But yeah, I think I tried a bit too hard to fit a certain aesthetic, and I think that's the main reason this level died and probably will never be finished. So use arrows. Now this is another failed extreme demon. I had a period of like a few years back in the day where I had yet to make a solo extreme demon, and I really wanted to have a rated solo extreme demon on my account. But every time I started one of them, I would either finish the layout and then never decorate it, or not even finish the layout because I just set myself an absurd standard. I just fell for my own fake. And Arrows is one of those levels. Although I will say I did make it kind of further with this one, because there's actual some form of decoration, even though it's not that good decoration wise. I do like the gameplay I made here, especially this dual ship. I think this dual ship is awesome. I think that's one of my coolest duels that I've made. There's also this like UFO and ship duel, which is pretty neat, but... Oh yeah, and then this little, like, section of the ship duel that, like, never works properly. Yeah. There was a phase where I desperately wanted to make a solo extreme demon. And sadly, none of them really stuck. Oh, none of them really stuck until I made Iridium. Which, you know, in itself, Iridium is also not the best level ever. But it's definitely, like, if any of my extreme demons were gonna be finished, I'm glad it was Iridium that was finished. I think that level has the, like, most structure and thought behind it. This level is also completely dead. If anyone, for some reason, wants to finish this, decorate this layout, then let me know, and I might give it to you, so, yeah. Now, Steel Beam, this is probably the most likely to be finished out of any of my unfinished levels, if we're being real. So I started this as a Vlak-inspired hard or insane demon. There's a lot of Vlak influence in this gameplay, and I think it's quite obvious in some spots as well, especially some spots coming up. There are some parts that became completely impossible in 2.2, but I'm willing to fix them if I ever decide to finish this level, which is quite likely because I kind of like the deco I made. That duel's kind of cool. I don't actually remember why this level, why it says lasagna. I think I'm pretty sure it's an inside joke of some sorts. Yeah, I think this spider is probably the most obviously Vlak inspired, especially that little blue orb spam, because that's pretty much like exactly what Vlak did in his level Bit Reaper, I think. Yeah, and then, you know, this part with the slopes is completely impossible because of 2.2. So this level is currently kind of in a stalemate, I guess. But out of all of these levels, I think this is the most likely to be finished in the future, because I quite like what this level is going for. Now, Somersault is an interesting one, because I've now given this level to a creator who has been making slow progress. But I really hope they do finish this, because this is one of my favorite unfinished levels, I think. I just think the vibe is really cool, and there's some very subtle 2.2 influence in this level as well, even though this level was initially made in 2.1. Like, I started using gradients and some shaders for some background elements as well, and I think it looks pretty cool. I think if I had finished this level on my own, like when I actually started this level, I think it would have been my best level at the time. So I think that just goes to show how much I value this, what I made in this level. So Somersault hopefully is currently being decorated. So only time will tell if this level will actually get finished. Starstruck is an interesting one, because I tried to go for I just tried to make like an art style for the first time ever, and I think what I made is decent. I quite like the overgrown plant uh, aesthetic that's going on, even though you can't tell it's pretty copy pasted. But this level is where I kind of got the plant stuff from, and you can currently see the influence in levels such as Through the Decay and even Fall. I would go as far as to say, like, both of them kind of use this type of aesthetic. Even though, although I am pretty proud of the fact that these flowers that are rotating, these are custom made flowers. I warped and I made all of these completely myself. I also quite like the background. I like the depth with the mountains that I made and the clouds, even though I do think that for a level of this style, the clouds should have probably been like actual custom made clouds, not default objects. So yeah, I think what I have is pretty cool, but I don't think I will ever finish this on my own. So again, if anybody wants to finish this level, then let me know. I might give it to you if I like your stuff. Now, Water Cave is an interesting one. I don't know what I tried to do here. I just tried to go for, it was just like going for a very, very simple approach, because it uses like a lot like these very plain blocks, but I tried to make the structuring interesting enough. And then I also tried messing around with some scaling effects, which scaling and masking for that matter. Like I think the ideas here are actually pretty cool, honestly. But perhaps I'm relying on shaders here a little bit too much. I do think it's kind of clever for like the bulge around the camera to make it seem like the borders of the game mode are like curved. But as it stands, I don't know if I'm gonna finish this level. It would be nice to finish this level, but who knows? Ooh, now Reversal is an easy demon that I tried to make. I think it was it was around last summer. I just wanted to make a quick and fun easy demon because I've always wanted to use this song in a level because I think it's pretty cool. And I did manage to do some decoration. I also had the entire layout finished, but then I went back and replaced the former game mode with this absolute belter of a duel. And I don't think I finished the duel. Yeah, I just can't do the rest of the level. I think the designs are decent. I think the rainbow influence is pretty cool. This level was also the first time I made my own custom exit effect. As you can see on the right side, it looks like the level is decaying behind you. And if it seems familiar, that's because it is. Because I use this exact same, like, this is the origin. Like, I made this enter effect, and I just put it in my custom object tab and just, you know, where I applied it wherever necessary. So I appreciate the level for that. Will I finish this? I don't know. If anyone's interested, then hit me up. Might give it to you, might not. We will see. Now, I think it was in December of last year, so 2024, where I decided that I want to make my own Geometry Dash like main level series, I guess. Like, very original, I know. I did make 2 whole levels, I'm not happy with one of them, which is hyperspin, like this one. But oh, but like it's okay. These were very fun to build, to be fair, and as I wasn't really doing the best because of like stress from uni, these levels kind of helped me get through it. Just, you know, building kind of whatever. And honestly, like, even though they don't look, like this one especially doesn't really look that good. And I don't know if I'll ever release it. I think I still appreciate the creation process. Very simple, kind of whatever. However, the second level I made, I quite like this one. I think the Geometrical Dominator inspiration was the correct choice. And I think this has like a nice little upbeat vibe. Although the second half is it's not the best, but you know, I think this is still pretty neat for what it is. So yeah, these are still sitting in my created levels menu, and I don't know if I'll ever release these. If you guys want me to release these two levels as like a separate thing, just kind of whatever, on my alt account, then please leave a comment below. If enough people want me to upload these, then I'll just go ahead and do it, probably. So definitely let me know, please. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed seeing some of my unfinished projects. There are definitely more that I didn't show in this video because I didn't really think that they were deserving of being showcased, because most of them are just kind of layouts. But if you guys want to see the other levels, then leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment maybe, and if this video gains enough likes, then I'll definitely do a second part for this. So, thank you everyone for watching, and see you in the next video.